people talk about binge drinking, what they tend to mean is drinking until you get drunk. But actually, the medical definition of what binge drinking is when you take in more than 50% of your weekly amount in one session. So for blokes that can be 4 to 5 pints, which can add up to 8 to 10 units. And for girls it can be as little as 3 pints, which can add up to 7 or 8 units for them. And the reason that you get drunk very quickly then is because the liver actually takes about 1 hour to process 1 unit. And if you take maybe 8, 10 units in the space of 3 to 4 hours, then the liver finds it very difficult to manage that. You get drunk very quickly, and of course it can lead to all sorts of problems such as falling over, road accidents, trips to the A&E department, and even things like unprotected sex and unwanted pregnancies. And it can also cause, in some cases, vomiting and choking and even death. The current recommendations of alcohol intake for men is 21 units per week, and for women it's 14 units per week. So the question is then, what's a unit? Well, the answer is basically half a pint of beer is a unit, 1 pub measure of wine is a unit, and 1 pub measure of spirits is a unit. When we talk about units being spread across the week, that means you should probably take in about 2 to 3 units per day for a man and 1 to 2 for a woman. And it's important to have 2 or 3 drink-free days during the week as well. Even at the age of 18, 19, 20, your brain is still developing, and that's at that stage. And so taking a lot of alcohol on board when you're young can actually affect you in the long run. So it's really important not to take excess amounts of alcohol when you're in your teenage years, because your developing brain can still be affected. A hangover is one of the most common and probably one of the worst effects of alcohol in the short term, and it's something that a lot of people have experienced. And basically it happens because alcohol is a diuretic drug, and what that means is it makes you lose water, so you pee more often, and then you become dehydrated. And when you're dehydrated, you get a headache and you might start to vomit, your brain's shrinking and it feels really horrible. And of course when you vomit you lose more fluid, and then you get more of a headache, and it just makes you feel completely miserable. And a good way to make sure that you don't get a hangover is, first of all, to spread your drinks out whenever you're out drinking in the evenings, and to try and take a glass of water for every unit of alcohol that you take on board. And if you can do that, that helps to spread your drinks, and it also helps to keep you rehydrated. I think actually binge drinking was a big part of British culture even in the 90s, the 80s, and going back to the 70s. And it was very much, you were more of a man the more alcohol you could take on board of an evening, and as long as you could hold your pint, then you were definitely a man's man. I think it's just that we're much more aware of the dangers of binge drinking now, and that's why our attitudes to alcohol and to drinking culture in general have changed so much.